Hi everybody, Russ from My Amazon 11. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you're made aware anytime we put new content on. As always, we'd like to thank our lovely channel sponsors, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. It's Friday, everyone. Another week. Congratulations. Friday. We've got to get down on Friday. Not my words, the words of Rebecca Black. So as we always on this channel, we have the Funday Friday, Freestyle Friday, whatever we're going to call it. And we can just let loose a little bit, which is lovely. As I said, we've got the weekend. Andy, good morning, mate. He's had a double sausage egg muffin, extra hash brown and mocha for breakfast. Ooh la la. And also, more importantly, stress-free football until Monday. Indeed, stress-free football. It's nice to watch a bit of football over the weekend and not worry about West Ham until the Monday. Hopefully everyone managed to see the Frank Lampard's senior appreciation night we put on yesterday. It was really, really good. I loved listening to Martin and to Nigel, just listening to their stories about them, about Frank Senior, because I was never around to see him. So obviously I saw him as a man, assistant coach to H, but never saw him as a player. So it was really, really interesting. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. There's some cracking goals. He scored some belters. So that was a really, really good night. Let's see what we've got here. Gary, hope you're well. Jake, hope you're well. What's for lunch, my buddy? Eamon, hope you're well. Adrian, hope you're well. Rich, hope you're well. The best omelette for lunch. Very nice. Are you at home today, Rich? Are you working from home today, or are you out and about? Tom, afternoon legends. There we go. Yeah, very, very good. I spent around 10 years trying to get that song out of my head. Friday. Got to get down on Friday. That's what me and my daughter do when she's at school. Oh, that's a good thing. Oh, half term next week, isn't it, Jake? No homeschooling. No homeschooling for a week. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Tom's got a Cajun chicken wrap coming up. Ooh la la. Kent, hope you're well. Great. Thank you. I did as well. I learned loads of new things, man. It was incredible. I really, really enjoyed it. It was amazing, actually. Some of those goals. There was that one he on the left, with outside his left foot, and it just went right where in Ray Clements. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to watch the first half after this. Saw the second half yesterday. There we go. Brilliant. Just watch the whole thing again. Might as well, man. Darren, good evening. Good evening. Happy Friday night to you. Oi, oi, Savaloy. It's Tommy Taylor. Oi, oi, Savaloy. It's the TT. How you doing, man? Hope you're well, buddies. Good afternoon. Kefil, hope you're well. How is it in Ireland at the moment? Rich is in the office. He's in the office today. So Jake is home alone. Oh, there we go. So Jake, obviously the old English lessons are going well there. So hard term or half term, as some may say. What have you got for lunch if you're home alone, Kevin? Kevin, what have you got, man? Afternoon, Robert. Hope you're well, my man. Martin's goal montages are superb. They're very, very, very good. Very, very good. Maybe we'll play it again today in case some people want to see it. Let me know. We can play it again today, and show. It's about 10 minutes long. Something different if you want to watch it. If not, you can go back and look at it on the YouTube. So it's very, very good. Liam, hope you're well. Andy, one was good to hear the stories. I only heard of him, not the goal. Me too. So I know him as a legend in terms of how many games he's played for the club and yada yada yada, but not necessarily sort of the goals. And obviously Nigel, bless him, had some personal stories, which were quite funny as well. You know, the having Frank inviting him round to watch the FA Cup final and stuff. It's very, 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 very cool. So just so you don't worry about Jake, he's home alone, but Mama Cox is home soon. So lunch then. So you wait for your mum to come in and then lunch. Living the dream, my friend. Living the dream. It's not too bad. I haven't got stuck with bad weather. I'm stuck in the room all day in classes. Can't be asked going outside. Meant to be learning about some engine technology right now. How interesting. How interesting, my man. As always, let me just share this. As always on a Friday, we let anyone come on. Basically, we haven't really got much to say really at the moment because obviously we the game's not till Monday, so we won't do any previews till Monday. We've got in terms of episodes we've got coming up this weekend, we were going to have two X-Hammers. Unfortunately, one of them had to pull out. We're going to have him next week because his grandson, who was his tech support, has had to go into self-isolation. So, but anyway, so tonight we've got Raymundo. So those of you from American Hammers Network, or I want to say two spanners, one hammer, the Patreon thing for Hammers Chats. He's on this afternoon, which would be he's really good. He's really funny. And then on tomorrow midday we'll have another X Hammers, My Hammers 11. Brilliant interview, lovely guy. Loved chatting to him. He was a fantastic, incredible life outside West Ham. So it was really, really cool. Let's get Jake on because he likes just talking.
Just talking.
Talking, that's what you do. How you doing, man, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what to say.
Had an absolute. I've got such a bad day today. I've just done a maths test and I got double English. I'm like, oh my god, half term, for God's sake.
It's always the way, isn't it? They always lay it on thick just before half term, so you really enjoy it. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. What have you got, Chris, today?
I have. Come on, then, let's get guessing.
Here we go. What Chris has Jake got today? What now? Did you go to the shops and buy them today?
I did, yes.
Any suggestions? I'm going to Walker's Max again because I think that's a flavour of choice for you. No.
When I went out about 7:30 this morning, I thought, what can I get? And I thought I'm going to get the hottest crisps I can find, so I've got them.
Oh, flaming Cheetos.
Use.
Very, very good. Oh, I'm so sorry. But you made it. You said it. You know, you shouldn't have
made it too easy. Let's turn.
You made it too easy, my friend. You made it too easy. That was a quick one.
Well, let's try one because I've never tried any of these, and apparently they're flaming hot.
Okay, we'll do a live taste testing for Jake.
Yeah,
live.
What kind of size are these?
God, look at them. Oh, as the actress said to the bishop. Wow, look at them. Good on you. And what's the verdict, Jake, more importantly?
They're nice. Cool. Yeah, they are hot. Yeah.
Wow. And they're hot as well.
Yeah, nice.
Good. Well, there we go. There's our consumer section. You know, the flaming Cheetos, the curly ones, the big ones are hot and they're nice, says Jake. But more importantly, what chocolate have I got today?
Oh, come on, then give us a clue. Because
I gave you a clue. You gave a clue, and I got it in one. So no.
We came very close yesterday.
Yeah, it was a tricky one yesterday. It was a tricky
cheeky,
one yesterday.
Russ.
It was cheeky, but I thought I'd just throw it in there, a cheeky swerve, just because otherwise, you know, it's the same thing every time. So I thought, let's do something a bit different. So no, it's very, very good. We have to think.
Are we going bar, bag, individual?
It's actually bar today.
Oh, so it's not Rebels then, Russ.
It would never be Rebels, Jake. That's a wasted guess, my friend. It's a wasted guess. So yeah, no, it's not Rebels today. What does anyone else think? We got Jazz has gone for Dinky Dippers. Isn't it? Was it Dinky Deckers? Dinky Dippers this week.
Yeah, Dinky Deckers.
Milky Bar, no. Aero, no. Toblerone, no.
What about a Maltesers bar?
Oh no, but I'm liking your thinking. Sometimes you've got to think out of the box a little bit. Peter, Hi Peter, guessing Twix. No, he's wrong. Gary's going double decker. I don't think you can get a double decker, but anyway. Lawrence, thanks for coming on, man. He's gone for double decker. It's something about double deckers today. Gary is gone for toffee crisp. No, Kent has gone for Galaxy dark milk. Is there a dark milk?
Dark chocolate, Russ. Dark chocolate.
Is that another hybrid? Indeed. Boost, no. Kinder Bueno, no. Very, very good. It's boosts now. Everyone's thinking about boosts. What was I going to say to you? I can't remember now. It's just got out of my head. It's got out of my head, mate, to be perfectly honest. I just can't wait for half term now, can you? God, it's like I've never wished for half term so much as this one. So it's
homeschooling not going too well with Flo.
No, it is. It's just like it's just an extra thing, isn't it? On top of everything else. You know what I mean? It's like you've got. I mean, she's great, but she's 8 as well, so it's always tricky. It's tricky for you as well, man, and it's tricky for anyone doing homeschooling, not used to it. And so it's like I just think you want. It's just good to decompress properly. And Andy says there, decompress. Yeah, I think we need to decompress a little bit. So it's just have a little bit of a relax.
I've got a little bit of a story because my new shirt came yesterday, and
Noble 16.
And the last time I bought a shirt with a name on the back was that one. And you can guess who was on the back. I was 8 years old and I thought we had the best player in the world. And that was the last time.
That's it. Well, Noble will announce his retirement tomorrow, won't he now? Yeah. Well done, Jake. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Right, we've got some more guesses. We've got it's Kevin for lunch has got French stick, mature cheddar, Braxton pickle. Very nice. Is there a crisp on the side there, Kevin?
I've got Cheetos. There's only about 3 in there, but I've got Cheetos for lunch. There you go.
Oh, until Mama Cox comes in.
Till Mama Cox, about 5 minutes, she'll be home, and then
cheese and toast, and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
We got chunky Kit Kat, no. Snickers, no. Fries, chocolate cream. Jake, what's your favourite holiday you've been on?
Oh Christ! We did a New Year's Eve cruise, and that was really good. That was good. But we went to we went to Bulgaria in 2019, and that was good. Yeah,
nice. Matcha Kit Kat, no. Whisper, no. Mars, no. Peter feels the same as a teacher. Picnic, Flake, Old Jamaican, Marathon. No, Cheetah doesn't count. Ripple, no. Good shout though. Kent's got it right actually. Terry's chocolate orange bar.
Yesterday, and you said I'm going to get one of them. There he is.
I tried to double guess. I tried to double bluff him.
Well done, Ken.
Well done, Ken. As always.
Yeah.
As always. What player does Jake hate in the Premier League?
Andrei Yarmolenko.
Poor Yarmolenko.
James knows that as well. James knows that, and Jack Grealish. I hate him as well. I actually hate him.
Oh, well, right. Let's bring in Gatesy quickly because Gatesy's got no mobile signal. We'll see if it works. Right, Gatesy.
I've got a signal. It's working this time.
What's for lunch?
Yeah, well, for lunch?
Now, Jake, since you asked, right, because I think everybody thinks I've got this bottomless sort of lunchbox, don't you?
Agreed.
Not true. It's not true.
Oh, you're just very good at packing it. Must be, surely.
It's standard size.
Some chicken goujons in there.
Let's have a look. Right. We've got a sandwich.
Nice.
Malted bread. We've got mature cheddar. That nice ham with the peppery bits around the side.
Yep.
A bit of beetroot chucked in it for good measure. Like a bit of beetroot.
Then
we got salt and vinegar crisps. Hang on, Jake, you might be on this. I don't know. Is she put chicken goujons in? What have we got? Yes, we've got the chicken goujons. A Rocky bar. Who likes a Rocky bar?
Oh, old school.
And a bottle of water.
Yeah,
just here.
Too good at that.
Got me fruit. Got me three bits of fruit. And as a bonus, because it's Friday, I think the missus was feeling a bit generous. I've got some berries, sort of grapes, strawberries.
Very good.
Yeah, I think I've got me 5 a day.
You always do, man. You always do.
Yeah.
Mother Cox is home. She's just come through the door. I've heard.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You've got to behave yourself now, Jake.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, that's what I think. It's nice to have a live lunchbox analysis, as you said, Gatesy. To be honest, it's very, very good. I do appreciate it, man. And as you said, it's good for you to get a bit of signal for once when all these things, isn't it?
Yeah, last week it was just like, where was I? I was over sort of Brixton, Herne Hill sort of way, and it was like, oh no, it just disappeared up its own backside. So it's like, well, there you go. But by the way, while I got you, just wanted to say well done, congratulations on the Frank Lampard Appreciation Night. It was absolutely brilliant, mate.
Thank you.
Top draw. And on the back of it, and I don't know whether you saw the chat afterwards, because Ryan Archer popped on and said about sort of, sort of like there should be something to commemorate him. And I thought to myself, well, let's look at this. Well, we've got 3 stands at the stadium that are named. You've got Bobby Moore stand, great. Trevor Brooking stand. You've got the Billy Bond stand. Well, you've got a 4th stand sitting there. And as was mentioned by, I think it was either Nigel or Martin yesterday, there's only 3 guys that are West Ham players that have got 2 FA Cup winners medals, and 2 of them have got a stand named at the stadium. So why not the 3rd?
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, why not? You know, I mean, I think it's one of those things where I obviously doing these things and interviewing lots of different people, there's clearly, you know, a lot of love for Frank Lampard Senior, and I just think it's widespread enough. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, and it's like with like Billy Bonds, with Bobby Moore, with Trevor Brooking, they're legends. You know, me and Jake know all about them. Do you know what I mean? We know all about them, and we never saw him play. But Frank Lampard Senior, didn't know hardly anything about him, to be honest, apart from what everyone says. So I think there's definitely a job needs to be done to make to sort of, you know, and if our appreciation night was, you know, gave people a bit of an insight into him as a player, then I think it's great. And yeah, I think there should be some sort of way he's commemorated, or even like, you know, I don't know if because like the player awards, I used to do lifetime achievement awards, isn't it, and stuff like that. And he hasn't won one of them yet, I don't think. So who knows, man?
I completely agree. I mean, you know, the fact that, I mean, do you think that it's sort of like almost like guilt by association because he's the son of Frank Lampard Jr. and obviously the circumstances in which he left the club and some of the things that he said latterly, and he's a little bit of a pantomime villain. Do you think that's possibly part of the reason why maybe he's not been given the recognition he deserves? I think that's completely wrong.
I don't know. Yeah, I think unfortunately, yeah, I think you know, we're quite good in differentiating ourselves from the person to the player, and I think sometimes we do it very well. So like Pyatt, for example, people have sort of differentiated him, you know, that was him to the memories he's given. And I think with Frank, I think they bought, you know, in some ways Scott Parker as well, I think it's the same. You know, he was a fantastic player, but because he wanted to prolong his career and go to Tottenham rather than, you know, anywhere, then he's somewhat vilified by some people. And I think that's the trouble with Lampard Senior. I think it's through association. That hasn't been sort of this widespread, and I think that's sort of, you know, I mean, I was talking to Ryan afterwards. I've been talking to Ryan about him as well, and he was saying that, you know, there's always, you know, he loved chatting to him, but you felt there was always a little, not resentment, that's the wrong word, but a little bit of sadness about his, you know, it's sadness in terms of he's not there. And as James says, you know, he was a one-man club. One club man, not a one-man club.
Yeah,
a one-club man. We'd lose every game if it was a one-man club, to be honest, James. But I think there's definitely something which needs to be done. But the same thing happened to Billy. You know, I'm not being funny. Billy, there was no real. It was only in the last couple of years that the stand was named after him and stuff like that. And, you know, arguably Billy before Trevor Brooking, you know, in terms of how, I mean, Trevor Brooking's stand was at the old girl and at the new girl. So it's like, yeah, I think there's some work. I think there could be some work to be done, but who knows? You know, as someone said in the chat, I think James said in the chat that maybe they're leaving it for Martin Noble to have his stand named after him, and I don't know, but you know, I think there should be something with that last one.
Peach is in the chat. Peach is in the chat.
Peach is always
Here
in the
comes.
chat.
Here he
in the
comes.
Where is he? Is he coming?
Yeah, he'll be in soon. He'll be in soon.
Do you think, though? I mean, sort of like it must be really difficult for Frank Senior. You know, West Ham through and through, legend at the club. And, you know, obviously then what happened with his son, I mean, it must be really, really difficult for him. Yeah. He's in an impossible situation because on the one hand, he's got the club that he served as a player, as a coach, assistant manager for, what was it, 30 years on and on?
Something like that, yeah, something like that, yeah.
And then on the other hand, he's got his flesh and blood who's getting absolute pelters from the crowd. And all right, you could argue that some of it he brought on himself, fair enough, but some of it was well over the top. He's in an impossible spot.
He is, yeah. I think he has been in an impossible spot for many years, to be honest. I think he's in an impossible spot as soon as Frank as Junior came into the squad, really, because he was always going to get pelters as Frank, you know, and you know, and you know, talking to players who were around that time, they all said that Lampard was basically training as hard as twice as hard as everyone else because he knew that. And if anything, Senior gave him probably and Harry gave him a harder time because of that. But we didn't see that. We see the fact that he gets picked, but the thing he gets picked is because he does another 2 hours, passing and free kicks and after training, and he puts the effort in. And I think I was talking to someone the other day, I think, interviewing someone, and they said, they picked Frank Lampard Jr. And he goes, I'd have him back as a manager as well. And I was like, I think it's a bit too far, but it's one of those things where, Jermaine Defoe, he criticised the club when he left, didn't he? But he's since come out and said he's sort of apologised for that. And who knows? Football's a funny old game, isn't it, JC? It's a funny old game, as someone said.
We've all made mistakes. We've all said things that, with the benefit of hindsight, we wish we hadn't done and done things, So, listen, if Frank Jr. turned up one day as a West Ham manager, listen, nothing surprises me anymore in football. I think it's quite unlikely at the minute, but you never know if he sort of came out and said, look, water under the bridge, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, possibly. I think Andy makes a good point here in the fact that, Lampard Senior, because he doesn't do interviews and he's not a pundit and he's not in the press, he's not on social media, he's not in the public eye, then he sort of gets a little bit lost in the shuffle a little bit. Arguably, that you got to think his era, the era he was playing in, it was, at that position as well, that left back position, he was always going to be a choice from people in their sort of 40s onwards, whether him or Julian Dix. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a shame because, it's something I always say all the time. We love our players to be committed, play for their club, play for the badge. And, we're a little bit despondent by when players want to leave or only play 30 or 40 games for us and then bugger off to somewhere else. He was there for over almost 700 games, you know what I mean? And so he ticks all the boxes really in terms of what we look for in a legend. And I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's I think it's a real shame because I think he deserves it. And it might come, you never know. As I said, the whole thing with Bill and the club and that's only in recent years that they've sort of come back together, so to speak. And you never say never in football. Say never in football.
The only wish I've got is I hope they give him the recognition he deserves whilst he is still here.
Yeah.
Last thing I would want is sort of because he's in his 70s now. If one day, because none of us last forever, one day he's not with us, and then the club go, oh, we're going to build a statue, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's no, you should have done that when he was here. Same with Bobby Moore. Bobby Moore, he should have got much more recognition he deserved. And the moment he was gone, let's name a stand after him. Let's do this, let's do that. It's you should have been doing this years ago.
Yeah. It's true. And I think, James makes a good point. Is Lampard Senior any more of a legend than Di Canio and Noble? I think the trouble is, that's what I think that's one of the things that highlights everything with this My Hammers 11 stuff is the fact that it's a generational thing. And no disrespect to many of us in the chat, but many of us in the chat probably never saw Frank Lampard Senior play. And so it's. And so I know, and that was one of the things that came out yesterday when we was doing the interview with obviously Martin and Nigel. Obviously, they were around. Obviously, Nigel knew him quite well as well. It was everyone was saying this is brilliant. This is really interesting stuff. And it's first-hand accounts. It's goals. It's highlights. And I think then it sort of gives people a perspective of the player. And again, it's a generational thing. Di Canio was Di Canio. Mark Noble was Mark Noble. Mark Noble's still only 6th or 7th or 6th in the top appearances. There was although we say Mark Noble is Mr. West Ham, there's still half dozen people, 4 or 5 people above him. In terms of the and it's but then again, football's changed, and and you got to think, for someone like Declan Rice, he's already on 100 and games already. He's only been playing for the first team for a couple of years. Think how many games that they played back in the day. There's the leagues and the smaller leagues, so it's a great debate to have, isn't it? It's a great debate to have.
And exactly as you said, Russ, it is a generational thing because me, If you was to ask me who's the greatest left back that I ever saw play for West Ham, I would say Julian Dix because of my age. I turn around to my dad and say, who's the greatest left back you saw? And he'd say Frank Lampard Senior without any hesitation. And I've seen, obviously, I think I might have gone to a few games and saw him live, but I was quite young, so I can't really sort of say. And obviously, he'd have been at the back end of his career if I did. But I've seen him obviously on the footage, and some of which you saw yesterday. And I sort of mentioned about the goal he got at Liverpool. I remembered him hitting it past Ray Clements, and it just bent into the top corner, and then it got shown, and I was like, yeah, that's the one. And he scored quite a lot of goals like that. And the thing was, as I think was mentioned, he was a left fullback, but he was actually right-footed, but he could hit it with either foot. And that's something that really winds me up when you see it here on commentary. A professional footballer getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. Oh, it came to him on his wrong foot. Really?
Yeah.
The best left back I've seen is Aaron Creswell. So
that's what I mean. So that's the thing. We've got three. In essence, we've got two generations here, really. So you got, as I said, for you, Jake, as well. It's like, that when we talk about Julian Dix in the same light, and you're thinking, it's to say it's you think, well, I've heard of him, but I never saw him play. So it's all about reference points. And I think, with Lampard Senior, there's no denying the fact that he was a fantastic servant for the club. And as you said, for other servants of the club, they've had recognition. So why not Frank? But in the same way, why not someone like Vic Watson? Do you know what I mean? In terms of, our greatest ever goal scorer at the club. And it would, and maybe that's something that needs to happen more. Do you know what I mean? I think, the fact that we're 125 years anniversary this year, there should be some, and that it might be just us carrying on doing. I mean, we're going to do another series of the Myham, of the sort of appreciation nights. And, I think clearly there was a real enjoyment of the fact that it was an older player. So we're going to try and do a few older players like Pop Robson and stuff like that as well. Because that was, I found it really interesting. So that's, I think something that we need to do is go back more and look at these players in modern eyes, you know what I mean? Rather than just looking at old footage, but actually doing like what we did yesterday, having a chat, getting people's comments. It's all on the YouTube and stuff. And then that sort of, at least that's been sort of recorded for prosperity, to give it a wanky term, but that's what I mean. So it's a really interesting thing. I think it's a really interesting, and we've had loads of good comments are coming here as well, saying, someone like Alvin Martin as well. Think about Alvin, I mean, Jake never saw Alvin Martin play. I just saw to the end of his career, really, sort of early 90s, wasn't it? He was coming to the end, and he's in the same light as well. Do you know what I mean? There's so many. I think we don't sort of seem to have a place for. As you said, there's only one stand left, so we need some more gates and things like that to start commemorating and stuff.
Get them going.
Exactly.
Go on.
No, carry on.
Go on, Jake.
Russ, just put Ben's comment up that he put on about homeschooling there. Look.
Oh, he's a primary school teacher and has come into the room asking, why is Jake not homeschool? It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime, Ben. Ben's missus. You should be going out. There's no snow there. You should be going out playing some snow with Ben. Go on, you can go do it now.
Snowmans.
Exactly. Go with some snowmans. Yeah, but I know what you mean. Man. It's just, I think it's great. I think it's great that we have this platform to be able to do it. Because there's so many.
Cheers, Russ. I got to shoot, mate.
All right, go on, mate. Go have your lunch, buddy. Go on, go and have your lunch.
Stay safe.
Bye, bye, mate. But you know what I mean? Having a platform to do it, and it's clearly a thirst for it as well. So we're going to do a lot more of them because people seem to enjoy them. It's in terms of time, it's just the time that it takes Martin to put, because it took mine ages to put that highlights clip together. That is real, because he was so into it, because he was one of his idols. So but we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens in it.
Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, mate. Plow through this lunch, and I dare say you got other people. You've
got plenty to get through. So you got plenty to get for your lunch. So cheers, Gates. So there's Gates. We're Gatesy, and we've had old Jakey boy. Let's see some more comments. I saw Julian play only once in the lot, then I started going to the games. No, exactly. So exactly, I totally agree. Twice if you count. Oh yeah. Let me ask you this. Give me a reason why it shouldn't have a stand name. Oh yeah. I think well, he's not retired yet. So I wouldn't give him a stand while he's still playing. So yeah, I mean, in the same way, I mean, again, it's a generational thing, isn't it? Where you think, some like Bobby Moore was very much. I think Nigel said actually, Bobby Moore in the 60s were all about Hurst, Peters, and Moore. The 70s were all about sort of Bonds, Brooking, and Lampard. So if that's the case, you would assume that, and I say, in the 90s, it was all about Julian Dix and Ian Bishop and people like that. And then in the 2000s onwards, it's pretty much been Mark Noble. Really, obviously Scott Parker, Mark Noble, people like that. So, yeah, I think there's. I'm not saying he shouldn't have a stand named after him, but I think there's a lot of people I think we should do that. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? We need to make a stand with 12 stands. That's what I mean, or split the stands up and then have 12 stands and have all the legends all the way around. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Would be good to see statues of some of these legends on the walks. I mean, that's another thing as well. I mean, look what Arsenal's done. Around the Emirates, they've got the Bergkamps and Henry's and Charlie Gordon's and people like that. I believe that seems a more of an easier way, because I hope we'll have Declan Rice become a legend at the club. Do you know what I mean? I hope we'll have the next generation will have legends. But they did, and they did it with. Do you remember they did it for a while with the shirts? So the shirts of all the Hammer of the Year winners, which is great. And that sort of commemorates them. But I think for the big ones, I think there's, as I said, people like Vic Watson. He hasn't, and he's well out of it. So no one talks about Vic Watson in terms of how many goals he scored for the club and stuff. So. Clearly there's lots of interest, which is great. So we'll go through some of these. Club confirmed that Ogbonna sprayed his ankle. I'm not, in all honesty, I'm not as frustrated with Ogbonna getting injured than I was if Antonio comes out with out for 6 weeks. I don't know if he is or whatever, but do you know what I mean? Because that's one area we've got plenty of cover, isn't it? And I know Ogbonna has been fantastic. But, in the same way that we pretty much shut out Man United for 100 minutes, say, with several makeshift centre-backs and Craig Dawson. So it might mean that Diop would be playing maybe if he hasn't got. I think someone said he's cleared to play. He's cleared to concussion stuff. So if that's the case, then obviously it'll be Diop and Dawson. I wouldn't think you'd play Dawson and Balbuena because I think they're too similar. I think Dawson and Balbuena are interchangeable. Not at the moment, because I think Dawson is phenomenal at the moment. And we'll talk about the Sheffield United game on Monday, because I think we'll see who's injured, see who's not, and then we can have a fair session of what's going on. Big Gaz says difficult to have someone from earlier than generation to name a stand after, given that supports them, keep them alive to play or hear about them. I agree, and it's a sad thing, We should have a couple of older players coming on soon to the channel, and obviously, less and less people sort of played with Bobby Moore who are alive. Obviously, out of the three now, there's obviously only Sir Jeff left, so it's important that we look after thing. And as also as Nigel said, there's only three people who have lifted the West Ham, who have won the FA Cup twice while at West Ham, and you obviously got Bonds, you've got Brooking, and you've got a Lampard senior. There's only 30. I think he said there's only 35 people who have ever won the FA Cup for West Ham. That's a classroom, isn't it? Well, it is at my daughter's school. Maybe a posh school might be 2 or 3 classrooms, but it's just one classroom for me. That's a terrifying statistic, isn't it? Similarly, probably a similar stat, people who've played over 200 games for the club. These are the guys that we should be looking after in terms of commemorating. And if it is us doing our little appreciation nights, then we'll carry on doing them, because it's really, really important, I think. Duvet dancer, I'm lucky to live in Chadwell Heath, was able to walk over the training ground. One day, Frank Senior, John McDowell and Bobby Ferguson took penalties against me. That's amazing. I saved the one from Bobby. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant, and stuff like this. You know, we had Jim Baker was doing quite a lot of, and I mean Jim's the oldest player person we've interviewed. He's the same age as Frank as Harry, so I think that's 75, 76. Something. Those memories need to be recorded. So, you know, I think so. We need to do some stuff with that. So there's a big this is going to have a stand over people who of this generation can identify. No, I agree. Upper and lower, good shout. Good shout, there is. The statues are very American, I think. Oh, there we go. Well, you're a baseball man, so you should love it. When I was a butcher, I served Alfie Martin in Dagenham. I believe he's now his wife, and he spent £1.87. At that time, it would have been a fair wax, I say. Fenway Park has 6 statues. There we go. I wonder how many the Emirates has. Does anyone know? Afternoon, Charlie. Hope you're well. I definitely didn't just wake up. I am. Okay. Rush Green is the X4s. I think that is indeed. Have to head off. Take care, mate. Have a good weekend. And hope school is fine for you. None of the legends have suffered relegation and seen owners go bankrupt. No, it's true. But similarly, there's less of us. There's less of the legends who have seen the good times at West Ham. In it. You know, the fact we haven't won anything for 41 years. The fact that, you know, that Nobes has been, you know, he's been still with the club and we've been relegated and promoted and stuff, and relegated and promoted again. That's something. That is something to be rewarded in the same way that Lampard, we haven't because, you know, that's sort of sort of the 60s to you know, sort of mid 60s to the 80s, where we had, obviously, you know, we won the European Cup, we won the FA Cups, we, you know, a few times. That's a golden time at West Ham. We haven't had one of them since. So for me, I think there's definitely a job to be done there, in my opinion. It's one of those things where it is and again, it is a generational thing. I mean, we said, you know, there's guys here who have, you know, who are maybe slightly more experienced and slightly less experienced. You know, from Jake, bless him, he's 13, all the way up to, you know, I'm just looking. Imagine James is relative. Let's have a look. I'm trying to be nice here. Kevin, I'm relatively experienced, I'd say. Duvet Dancer, I'd imagine you're relatively experienced as well. Anyway, as I said, we're going to go on for a little bit longer. As I said, if anyone wants to come on, they can come on. We won't be here for too long, so I appreciate. We haven't really got much to talk about, to be honest, at the moment, because it's one of those things where we've got, you know, the game on Monday, and so we'll have an early one on Monday, because obviously it's a 6 o'clock kickoff, so it's an early one. And I just want people to enjoy their weekend this weekend. Do you know what I mean? Enjoy the football without any sort of risk, and we should be enjoying the football anyway, because we're not going to get relegated, and so it's all about how high we can finish. That's a great position to be in. A great position to be in. I'm going to stand named after me for winning the league. There we go. Big Gaz. Big Gaz is there, man. Big Gaz is there. Right. Let's get James on. How you doing, Jim?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm all right. You all right,
buddy?
I thought
I'd come on. I thought I'll explain it better talking to you. Like,
yeah, go for it.
I just think that Noble should deserve it for his loyalty, because I think with West Ham fans, loyalty means a lot to us.
Yeah, true.
That's why people like Bobby Moore, Alvin Martin, Billy Bonds, it's loyalty to us more than anything. I think Noble's been through hell as a lot of West Ham fans have, if I'm honest, over the last, say, 15 years. And I just think he deserves. I think if you're going to put a stand there now, I think it has to be. I'm going to say it's definitely got to be him, but he's got to be in the reckoning. Yeah.
I agree. I agree, man. I agree, and I think it's right, because I think, as you said, that someone said, you know, they're all from older generations, and you know, and I'm probably same as you, James. I mean, I never saw Bobby Moore play. I never saw Trevor play. I saw him manage, and I never saw Billy play. I saw him manage. So, you know, there's 3 stands named after people that I never saw play. Which is part of the reason why I did the Miami's 11, why I started it, because actually from that dream team that the club did in 2003, I'd only seen like 1 player or 2 players play. So I know about them, but I haven't got a reference point. Do you know what I mean? And I agree. I think there is a when Mr. Noble does put up his boots, there will need to, I mean, as you said, the 4th stand is not named after anyone yet. it would be lovely maybe to give him the ultimate accolade. And we'll see.
I just think he deserves it because of his loyalty, mate. We've been through relegations, all that with the Icelandics back in 2008, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like he's been like he's had to deal with Adbran Grant getting relegated that season, and he could have walked away. A lot of West Ham, a lot of players have walked away from West Ham when we've gone down, and he's always stayed there and rebuilt. And he rebuilt in 2012 when we went back up against Blackpool. Yeah. Like he was there again, and it's just sort of like sometimes in life it ain't about what you win; it's about the loyalty shown. And I think he's shown us untold amounts of loyalty for the last 10 plus years.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I totally agree. And again, it sticks out even more because modern football is not like that anymore. Is it? Yeah. It's not like that. You don't get testimony. You know, I mean, like we've been very fortunate to interview lots of players. We had Tony Gale on once, and he said every year he was at the club, bar 1 year was a testimonial year. That was normal. That was the normal.
I think it's the dying breed now, where there's one like a man stays at one club for the whole entire of his career. It's very, very rare. Like unless there's like, do you know what I mean? Unless they're at a club that is very successful, they don't stay there. They usually move on, want to progress to European football or want to win titles or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I just look at it like that. You were saying about having Lampard earlier on as a manager. That would never go down well. You know what I mean?
I would just throw it out there, but you never know.
But it wouldn't surprise us though, Russ. In 10 years' time from now, that Noble's sitting in the hot seat.
No, great shot. Yeah.
I think it's made for him. If he wants to go take that coaching role up, which I think he is going to do it. Yeah. I think you give him a couple of years, but then if he does that role as a manager, would we really? I look what's happened with Lampard with Chelsea and the way that's ended. Would we really want him in there? That's
trouble, isn't it? I think that's why Brooking never did it full time as well, because he loved the club and the club loved him, and unfortunately he was good in his time, but still it was like would it sort of taint his legacy at West Ham, would it? And that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know, buddy.
100%. It's a very tricky situation. Like you could have a club legend there. If it goes well, it's amazing. If it goes bad, he could be like crucified, if that makes sense. But yeah. Totally, man. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much for coming on, man. I'll DM you on Twitter because I want to get you on the show anyway. We'll do a Miami's 11 soon anyway. But anyway, appreciate you coming on, buddy. No worries, mate. You take care. Have a good day and have a good weekend.
You too, mate.
Take care.
You too, buddy. Take care, buddy. So that was old James. It was nice of James to pop on. Fat boy fever. 16, I believe his Twitter handle is. So there we go. We'll probably go on for a few more minutes, and then we'll have a nice weekend, a nice long weekend. Oh, with half term as well for those of you who are homeschooling. For those of you who haven't got kids or not homeschooling, you won't appreciate the fact of half term coming. It's a good time. It's a good time. Just needs a bit of, as Andy says, a bit of time just to decompress. And we don't have to worry about Monday until Monday. Then we worry about Monday on Monday, don't we? In terms of Sheffield United, and we'll do a little a quick preview on Monday lunchtime. We'll probably start a little bit early as well, just so everyone knows, because obviously I've got to get to the grass. I just remembered it was someone mentioned yesterday 6 o'clock kickoff. So yeah, I've got to be. So I'm gonna have to leave. Yeah, like probably like 12:30 or so. So we're at about 12 o'clock, just so you guys know. As I said, tonight we've got obviously Ben can't wait till he's Domino's Sunday. That's what he's got Sunday. Obviously, Friday Kebab Friday for the Budden household. And so what we're going to do, we're going to have, as I said, Raymundo's My Hammers 11 tonight. Tomorrow we've got another ex-Hammers interview. Our 53rd. I want to say our 53rd. I'm just going to get this guy on before we finish. There he is.
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
I wasn't joking. I literally have just got up. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very. God, man, it's 1:15.
I live my life. Russ. Don't at me for it. Hang on, I'm getting back in bed now.
God, right. Let's have a foursome.
Oh, the dream.
Let's have a
Look at that.
foursome.
Oh, my God.
Let's have a foursome. How you mean? Hang on.
Oh, Duke's gone. You're back to a freeway now.
How you mean?
How are you, Peach?
Yo, I gotta go. I gotta go. Look at this, dog. Look at this. Pure snow, dog. How you mean? Look at this. Pure snow.
Pure snow.
Yeah, I'm jealous. Gio showed me the snow up in Scotland yesterday as well, and now it's gone here, Russ. I don't know about where you are.
Ours is all melted. The sun's come out and it's all melted. It's just icy now. It's a bit icy on the other side of the road, which is, but yes, it is, man. It is, and I can't believe you just got up, man.
Do you know, it was overrated. It was overrated.
You've gone back to bed.
What are you up to this weekend, Russ?
I am doing well. We're all going out clubbing again, aren't we? Yeah, in a pub and or just staying in doing nothing as always. Yeah,
very exciting.
Pretty much.
What about you, Peach? What are you doing this weekend?
I'm waking up, dog. That's what I'm doing. I'm waking up, man. I got one eye open. That's Charlie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Oh! My G, yo,
you're gonna get Jukey in as well. There's
we got
Jukey as
four
well.
people now. Yo, let's run it.
There's the four. Duke's doing his walks around.
Gentlemen.
Juke is in the place to be. Juke is in the place to be.
I'm in my pub, Peach. I am.
It's the place to be. Duke's pub.
There's no bastard.
I gotta turn my volume up, dog. Hold up.
Oh dear, this is the most random. I love it. Oh, I do love Friday. That's why I love Fridays. Anything can happen. It's Freestyle Friday. Anything can happen. And we've got Peachy sorted himself out. There we go. Peach sorted himself out.
Oh shit. Hold on.
How many
what he's showing us.
Exactly. How many miles we walked then, Duke, today? How many miles we walked?
I did about 6 miles over.
Any miles you walked, Charlie, today?
Well, it was about a metre to the curtain, and then I've come back to 2 metres. All told 2 metres, you know.
Unbelievable.
Peach hasn't walked anywhere. He's just kind of vibed everywhere that he's gone today, hasn't he?
Yeah, Peach.
I flew everywhere. How you mean? I'm a unicorn, dog. I flew everywhere. I'm a unicorn, dog.
Oh, lovely. It would have been a Friday show without Peach coming on anyway, so it's good for him to
Certainly not. Boys, what are we making of the takeover? The rumours again are doing the rounds.
Oh, the American billionaire.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I read that, dog. Would you think that's true?
Well, it's got the same kind of effect as was it the Chelsea takeover? Apparently, he wants to buy Southampton.
Yeah,
but Southampton are asking X number of tens of millions pounds too much, and if they don't reduce their asking price, he's going to leave and he's going to come look at West Ham. Now, my question is, the rumor is £300 million he's willing to pay for Saints, and they want 380. It might have been 200 million and 280, or 300 million and 380. What on God's green earth is he going to think when he rocks up at the London Stadium or to the Sully Mansion, and they turn around and they go, "We want 500 million."
Yeah, I don't see anything in it. But as Ben says, the Bordeaux fans don't like him anyway. I don't think there's going to be. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think so. But we never know. I mean, football's a funny old game, isn't it? I don't think nothing will happen till the summer at least, and we'll see, man. I think it's Once we have a few more reports, once I see certain people reporting on it, that's when I take it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see. Was it the original guy from America? Was it the Las Vegas Raiders? He was involved in building the new stadium, etc., wasn't he?
Yeah.
What's his name again? Briggs or Spriggs or
something like that. But then but then John, our Las Vegas hammer, said he's not a nice man. So we'll see. I don't know, Duke.
Listen,
I don't know.
I don't give two monkeys whether they're nice or not, as long as they come in and give
Give us some money.
give us what we all crave. Like this is the first time I've pretty much been online, social media, any of this since Tuesday night. I kind of toys out the pram. To be fair, Wednesday I don't even think I could function after the amount I actually drank on Tuesday night. I couldn't even move a leg in front of the other. So it wasn't exactly a pretty thing. So this is the first time I've actually ventured onto any of the channels, or I've kind of ducked in and ducked out on some of them over the last 48, 72 hours, just because I didn't want to face just listening or reading the crap feeling that was Tuesday night. I've had a couple of conversations today, and I'm not going to rehash them because they weren't pleasant conversations, but that's done and dusted now. Now we push on with the league. Now
definitely.
I want to see us finish as high as is humanly possible for this club. And I know it's not going to be easy. We've got no Yama. We've got possibly no Antonio. And I know the other guys have been talking about, the free agent market. Certainly Twitter's awash with, the images that are doing the rounds of the players that are currently free agents, Sonogo and Costa, Sturridge. Me, personally, I'd bring in both Sturridge and Costa on 6-month deals on 25 grand a week. And they get bonuses. I mean, again, it was pinged at me earlier. 5 grand goal bonus. Every time you score a goal, you get an extra 5 grand in your waist packet. Prove to us that you've still got it, especially with someone like Costa. Go out there and do a job. At the end of the day, I'm not going to give you 75 to 100 grand a week just to turn up. I want what I'm paying you for, which is goals.
Yeah.
So earn the money that way, and I do think we need to. I think we need to look at those options.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I think there's people out there. If you want, if we want to do it, I mean, part of me is I'm sort of a little bit conflicted in my head, because one is, we need the bodies, but then one is we've gone down that route so many times and it's never worked for that's old West Ham, and it's like, I mean, as I said before, I think in my opinion, Moyes isn't blind to the fact that Antonio, his hamstrings are like jelly. He knows that's the case. So, and he knows that he would have got a backlash by not spending money in January. So there's a plan there. So, let's see what happens on Monday. That's one thing. That's why Monday's critical for me now, as you said.
Yeah.
It's about how we respond on Monday. We then go down. Then we're one game a week. Then we've been playing 2 games a week, and I just don't think can keep that intensity going for 2 games a week. Do you know what I mean? We always have a good game and a shit game, a good game and a shit game. So Sheffield United, perfect time for us. Perfect game for us really, because they're scrabbling. They're not doing much, to be honest, and we need to give someone a good dicking. We need to, I think.
I'd like it to be Sheffield United, to be fair.
We'd all like to. So let's
I'd like it to be them.
Yeah, as I say, once happens on Monday, then we've got a week, haven't we? We've got Tottenham on the Sunday. So that's so next week I think those 2 games are going to be critical. Sheffield United to get us get some confidence back in the team, and then Tottenham. Tottenham's Tottenham. We don't need to be up for that game. We know.
Why does Peach look like he lives in a winter wonderland? Look at it. It just looks amazing.
Peach does.
Hey, Charlie, you see what's behind me, dog?
Subway.
You see what's behind me, dog?
Yes. Peach knows.
It is a winter wonderland, man. It's crazy right now, dog. Like, it's like, it's madness. It is winter wonderland.
But you guys know how to live in the snow. You don't come to a stop, do you? We come to a stop over here. We've got a slight smattering when it first started, and cars are crashing all over the place.
Yeah,
I know, because y'all got one what did they call them? The things that lift the snow up, not Zambonis. Snowplow. So I got one snowplow in London. That's why, it comes to ding. Trust me, I know.
I know. It's so true. I mean,
You have
I
to
used to do a
carve
lot of
your
work
roads
in,
out of the snow.
I used to do a lot of work in Finland, and they'd have so much snow, and all the airports are open, and the airport's open, and the Uber drivers are still just like driving normally on like blankets of snow.
Yeah.
It's a crazy place. But yeah, but that's because we get like snow like once a year, really, don't we? So it's like they
Lucky
never
if
want to
we get
invest.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So why invest? Yeah, so we never invest a lot of money in it because it's not worth it for us. But yeah, no, it's so
Right.
true. It's so true. Right, gents, I'm gonna have to go. So I've got to do stuff. I've got work to do for the day. Listen, thank you so much, all three of you, coming on, guys. Well, as I said, we'll talk about the game on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy the fact there's no stress for West Ham this weekend, and then we can start again. We can start stressing on Monday.
West Ham to finish fourth. I ain't playing. West Ham to finish fourth. I ain't playing. Charlie,
Peach is not playing.
Let's talk, dog. West Ham to finish fourth. Duke, big up. Russ, Thunder.
Go.
Take it easy,
Cheers,
gents.
everyone.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, Duke. Thanks, Charlie, man. Go back to bed. Thank you. Oh, that was a fun little bit last minute. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, coming. Another week. Thank you so much for all your support and love for the channel, as always. As I said, we'll see you early on Monday afternoon, probably around 12 o'clock, because we'll be doing it pretty much quite early on because I've got to get to the ground. Have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely Valentine's weekend as well. And for myself, take care, stay safe. Very slippy out there in the UK, so be careful with the ice. Stay safe, wash those hands, get your jabs, come on your wines, and I'll see you again bright and early Monday afternoon, or bright and early for Charlie. He doesn't get up to 1 o'clock anyway. So anyway, take care, everyone. Much love. Bye bye.